Okay, in this example, we're gonna go through just logging into Famis for the very first time through the Famis app that's on every tablet. In this example, we're gonna do where the app identifier has never been put in before and it's never been associated to GCU, which just means we need to put in the designated identifier that is on the PowerPoint or just in this video, which is gcu.famis360.com. So when you get into Famis, there's a few categories that you're going to want to look for. If you've never logged in before, it's going to have you log in with the credentials you use to get onto the GCU computers. So anytime you change your password for your computer, it's going to automatically change your password for Famis, and you shouldn't have to re-log in or change anything because it's automatically synced together. So in this example, it's already associated to me. And these are the main categories that fleet drivers would use. Creating a request is probably the most common one that you'll use, and this is just anytime you see something on one of our buses or vans that needs to be reported to be addressed, you're going to use the create a request. Anytime that you've already created one and need to refer back to it, you can just go to find request, and there's a few different categories. If you don't have any information about the request, you can kind of go general and just change the type to fleet. And then that's forklift. Then you can just look at all fleet requests. If you do not need to look at just the type and you actually have the request ID, you can put that in here. Or if you don't know what the request ID, but you are the one who submitted it, you can always type in your own personal name, because everybody has a default account. And if you type in your own name, you'll be able to find anything that you've ever submitted. So for example, for myself, I'm gonna do this, and then I know I created some yesterday, but if you don't know the date, you can just pull up any that you created. And then I hit search. And all the requests I put in yesterday are gonna populate here, and it's very easy to find them. Like I said, there's lots of different categories to use. If you don't have any information, but you think it might've been submitted yesterday, you could just look at fleet requests that were submitted yesterday and then look at them there, and it's going to narrow it down very quickly. As you can see, there's more, but let's say I'm in bus 7 looking for if anyone's put the oil leak in. I can see that it's already been submitted and I don't need to resubmit one. The other categories that you can pay attention to are the crew requests, which is just we are all default into the fleet crew. So if you want to see what's going on with fleet or see what work orders are currently happening, you can always look here. Okay, the final category to look at when you are a part of fleet is if you want to just look at one specific bus specifically to see what's going on with it, you can always just search that asset. So for example, if we want to look at bus 5, and then we hit search, it does take a little bit longer because it's going to load everything that we have for all of bus 5's history, but that's where you're going to see any open work orders or what's been going on with it, so you can see if it's already been submitted or if there's an update on something that you had seen previously. Just to note, for the create request, it does not have to only be vehicle related. So if there is an issue that you see with a light outside of the building, or maybe your cubicle, something breaks in it, or anywhere around campus, you can submit it here. So anything that we're looking for, if you have like a furniture issue or you see a fire extinguisher that has an issue, you can put a work order in. It does not have to be vehicle related, and then that's going to be the fastest way to get anything addressed. So if there's a light bulb out in one of your cubicle lights or something like that, this is going to be the fastest way to get somebody to address it rather than emailing it to Joseph or a supervisor. You could always just submit it yourself. And then when you're done with using Famis on the tablet, the easiest thing to do is just log out, so that way your information doesn't stay open.